If you're a Winnipeg fan, if you'd have sat down at the start of the year and said halfway through the season, you will have more points, or the same number of points, and one more win than the defending Stanley Cup champions, you'd take it. Michael Hutchinson gets the start for Winnipeg. You'll take his performance, leads the NHL with a .936 save percentage, second with a 1.88 goals against average. Jonathan Quick at the other end. Career against Winnipeg, he's played 6 games, won 3 of them, 3.15 goals against average. Would you take that, Mike?
I think they would take it. They're happy to be where they are. Halfway through in the playoff picture and right there with all the teams ahead of them. And getting healthy all of a sudden with 3 guys returning tonight to pair up with Bogosian from last game.
You bet. Evander Kane, Toby Enstrom, Mark Stewart all back in the lineup, and you made reference to Zach Bogosian back in the lineup. Their defense much healthier than the one we saw 1 week ago in Winnipeg.
And they did so well without those guys, managed to hang in there in the tough Western Conference. Paul Maurice made sure to give lots of credit to the guys that had been playing with the return of these guys that are now no longer in the lineup.
And Mike Johnson is down at ice level tonight. He's right between the 2 benches, so he'll be able to offer that great perspective from down there. Puck just skipped up off the boards there by Blake Wheeler, trying to catch up to it. Couldn't do it. And the Kings will set things up. Brayden McNabb drops it back. Lots of room for one of the great Russian defensemen, Drew Doughty, and look at him go, although it comes to a rather unceremonious end as he ran into Byfuglien.
Dustin Byfuglien just went 1-2 on Doughty and Kopitar, although he's going to pick up a penalty, I think, for his hit on Anze Kopitar. Doughty winding it up, a couple all-stars going against each other, looks for the poke check, finishes with a body check, and then throws Anze Kopitar, who's a big, strong man as well, into the boards. Just get a little sense of how strong Dustin Byfuglien can be, even though he picked up a penalty on the second one, which has been a problem for the Winnipeg Jets as of late. And not surprisingly, Paul Maurice doesn't agree with the call. LA
Kings get a chance in the power play. They're 11th in the league coming into this game in the power play, facing the 9th best penalty killing team. The Jets have gotten a lot of practice at it. They take a lot of penalties. Jake Muzzin trying to send it through there. Muzzin, number 6 for the Kings, up on the left side, pinching up there, jabbing at that puck. He comes away from the fray and gets it back at the top of the point, lays it up there for Gaborik, fires it over. Doughty zips it around back. It's going to carry him all the way back there to Kopitar, back to the line, and ripping that one was Jake Muzzin, and it got away and went out of play.
You touched on it, Paul, how much trouble the Jets have had in taking penalties. And look where they rank. Minor penalties first, time short, which is the one that matters the most first. And you're not giving yourself a chance to be successful. You keep playing shorthanded, regardless of how good your kill is, and it's been not bad for Winnipeg. You take that many penalties, you're going to put yourself in trouble on the scoreboard and on the bench.
Kopitar, Gaborik, and Carter up front for the Kings in the power play. Lots of firepower out there, and lots of firepower back there with Doughty and Muzzin back at the points. We'll see what they can create here. Lots of time to go in the man advantage. Puck comes up here to Gaborik. Zips it across, coming down that right side. Kopitar into the corner, looks towards the front. Carter's right up there, parked off the edge of the crease. No one is near him. No one near him, and he missed that as it was laid over beautifully by Gaborik. What a glorious chance. Here's Doughty, trying to work it up. And Gaborik with it. And Kings on a change, so Doughty settling things down. 45 seconds to go in the power play. Streaking up there. Dustin Brown comes in hard for the Kings, trying to win that puck. Streaking back was Sherratt. He got it up around the boards to the line, but not out. Comes to the top of the point there for Martinez. Nice move, nice shot, but not good enough. Skips up off the boards. Williams drops it back. Martinez waiting on the left side. He takes it now. Throws it back. Top of the point. First shot doesn't make it through. Kane was out there challenging. Knocked down. Puck dished over. Pearson with the dish, and it was broken up. And Wheeler gets it down the ice. Good pressure from the Kings. Jets bending. Not breaking.
That'd be a little sharper trying to clear those pucks. Can't give a good power play second chances by not getting it over the blue line.
Richards fires it up, comes up around back of the net. Hutchinson out there to play it. Sends it up along the boards. Clifford was up but couldn't pick it up. Teams at even strength. The Jets survived that first power play attempt by the LA Kings. Richards. Some talk Richards might be a healthy scratch for this game. That was going by the practice lines a couple of days ago. Daryl Sutter blew that speculation off this morning after the morning skate. Said no way.
No way, but he still played a season-low 9 minutes last game, so obviously he's not happy, coach or Richards, the way he's playing right now.
Walking up there, Bufflin gets it up around back of the net. Puck right in front, scores! Perreault! Matthew Perreault gets the goal. First good chance the Jets have, and they bury it.
Good job keeping the puck alive on the wall right here. Perreault ties it up. Keep there by Bufflin. And again by Bufflin, getting it down below. And then Frolik beats screen. And then Schultz drawn to the puck. Leaves the front of the net. Nice job by Frolik. Taking the hit there. Then a quick stick on Schultz. Chipping it over to Perreault, who's on the back door. Two defensemen caught below the goal line for the LA Kings, leaving Perreault wide open in front. And his hot play continues.
14 points in the last 11 plus games now for Perreault. This is McNabb. Gets it up along the boards. That goal coming in the wake of a decent power play for the Kings where they weren't able to finish off. But really the first decent chance of the game for the Jets, and they bury it. It was their first shot on goal. The official Perreault from Frolik at 3:39.
Good start for the Jets. Not a great one for the LA Kings and Daryl Sutter. And he's in a tough spot right now with his team. He wants them to play better. He's trying to demand that they do so. And yet he also knows that they played a lot of hockey, 2 cups in the last 3 years. He knows that once they get in the playoffs, they have shown the ability to just turn it up a couple extra notches and become a very dangerous team. So he's walking that fine line of how hard do you push in the regular season, knowing that once they get to the playoffs, they're going to be dangerous.
Williams throws it in there for the Kings. Andrew Ladd back to pick it up to Bufflin. He's under siege, but Bufflin able to hold the fort, get it up around the boards. And breaking in with numbers, Wheeler comes up, gets it in front, scores! Little, right there! And Winnipeg riding on a jet stream of confidence. Jump into a 2-0 lead.
Winnipeg showing the whole package, show the forecheck goal. Now it's a rush goal, and it's just pure speed by Brian Little up the center of the ice. Beating Doughty all the way to the net. Good seam pass in behind him to Ladd. Ladd, good pass over to Little, backhand, forehand, and a little feed there by Wheeler. And good finish by Little. Showing a good speed there to shake off Doughty. And what a start for Winnipeg.
2 shots on goal, 2 goals. And that after they appeared to be on the back foot coming out of the gate when the Kings had an early power play. Scheifele coming in. And play is whistled down, and a penalty coming up. Looks like it's going to be a hook.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Daryl Sutter knows to check, you have to skate. And right now, Winnipeg's come out and has been the quicker team to all the spots. 5 minutes in, Anze Kopitar will pick up a hooking penalty right here as he gets caught reaching on Mark Scheifele. And that absolutely is a hook up into the hands, and now a great opportunity for Winnipeg, already up 2. If they could get a third on this early power play, really take a commanding lead in this game.
Winnipeg's power play fairly mediocre, 20th in the league coming into this game against a very mediocre penalty kill. The Kings 23rd in penalty killing coming into this contest. Puck comes back and outside the line.
Two reinforcements on this power play though, both Enstrom and Kane, guys who have not been available the last few games.
And Enstrom out there and Kane out there. To your point, Doughty chips it up. There's Kane. Zipped across to keep it in. Set to pull the trigger was Lowry, but he was Impeded somewhat, didn't get a good shot away. Kane moves it across. Tucked up there by Enstrom. Enstrom right back at the top of the point. They were looking for Kane over on the right side, but the puck was knocked down. And Brown comes out carefully and then deposits the puck down the ice. This is Enstrom back to pick it up. Missed the last 19 games, the lower body injury. He gets the puck up in the wing. Wheeler wheels it in. Puck comes up and around. Little looking for it. Little scoring that last goal for the Jets. From Wheeler and Ladd at 4:31.
Little hadn't skated in a couple days, not yesterday, not in the morning skate this morning. Pretty good there, flying up the ice. Drew Doughty for the goal. So Paul Maurice obviously has the Jets playing very well this year, and like just about every team in the NHL, when they get ahead early, their record is strong. 14-6-4 when they score first, and almost unbeatable when leading after two. So exactly what you want, whether you're at home or on the road, the kind of start you're looking for, especially in a tough building against an ornery team here in LA who's not too happy either.
Apologies if you were tucking in one of the kids or had to run to the fridge for a beer. 2 goals in 52 seconds for the Jets. Wheeler chips it in. Quick out there to play it. Wheeler knocks it down, looking around, works it back to the blue line, walking it across to Perreault, fires it up there. That was knocked away by Quick. Perreault open over on the right side. He tries to sneak up there towards the front. There was the pass intended for him. Doughty blocked it. Byfuglien up for Perreault. He has one of the goals for Winnipeg. Back for Byfuglien. Tucks it up. He'll take the return feed. Looking for Perreault. Gets it to him. Lets a wrist shot go. It kind of fluttered in there. Dumped in front. Scores! That went in off of Lewis, I believe.
That's going to be Wheeler's, but that's Trevor Lewis on the tuck right in front.
3 shots, 3 goals for the Jets, and this one an own goal, if you will, on the Kings.
Good possession, keeping it through. Perreault gets it down to the front of the net. Wheeler fighting for it, just trying to throw it back out in front, and off Quick stick, I think, and then straight off Trevor Lewis. He's trying to worry about the back door and actually kicks it in. So it will be Blake Wheeler's goal, and he'll take it. You stand in front of the net, you take a shot at the chest, cross-check at the back, you deserve a reward, and he gets it there. And now 3-0, just like that for Winnipeg.
3 goals in 3 minutes, Mike. I mean, just an incredible start for the Jets. Full marks to them. And the Kings looking more like jesters right now. This is Stewart. Lowry skating over. Schmidt fires it in and smothered, and that was the first shot on goal. The first shot on goal for the LA Kings. No smiles coming from that man. Back with more in a minute. Back to the Staples Center. Paul Romanuk here, Mike Johnson there, and Mike from there. The 2 benches, you're right between them. Must be quite a contrast in the body language right now.
Lots of energy, lots of positivity, chatter on the Winnipeg Jets bench, because why wouldn't you be up 3-0 on the road after just 5 or 6 minutes? Whereas the LA bench, a lot of looks in the sky, a lot of shoulders slump, and not a lot of talk on the bench right now. The only thing they have going for them is that there is still plenty of time left in this game for them to try to crawl back into it. But it has been a perfect start for the Winnipeg Jets and Paul Maurice.
Puck comes back. Shot quickly over off the boards. 1 shot on goal for the Kings, and not much of a shot. McNabb waiting back at the blue line. They don't get it back to him. It's down here in the corner. Kopitar looking for it. Picked up here now by Brown. And he's got company. Brown looks around. Pinching up there was McNabb. Chops it around back of the goal. Gaborik couldn't grab it. And the puck moved up, just missing Perreault. And it's an icing call on the Winnipeg Jets.
Matthew Perreault has been a nice addition to the Winnipeg Jets. Brought in from Anaheim, the free agent. There to provide some offense, but also some defensive awareness, which you need. He knows that Enstrom doesn't want to get all the way out and chase Dustin Brown. So he comes over, just forces him to the board so he can't pivot and shoot, and then gets right back in defensive position. Subtle little defensive positioning from a smart player, helping in his own end.
I heard Joe Nieuwendyk talking on our panel tonight about a lot of people in the West wondering whether the Kings are just playing possum and they're going to be able to turn it on for the playoffs as that one gets away from Richards and goes up out of play. But I mean, Mike, you've played the game. It's not that easy. You don't just click a switch all of a sudden.
And yet it seems like they have. You remember 3 years ago, they finished 8th, just got into the playoffs, and yet they won the Stanley Cup. Again, they're such a fear because they're built to play in playoff series. Big, strong depth. Daryl Sutter, the system that he employs and the way that he coaches his team. And I think the players know that. And that sense that Joe Nieuwendyk was talking about is that they have more to give. They're just trying to bide their energy and their mental focus until it really matters, and then go.
Puck chopped in there by Peluso, and he'll go up around back of the net. Oh, he was just crushed by Clifford, and everyone's going to come in. Wow.
What a hit. Love to see all 5 guys on the Jets get right in there immediately. Doesn't look like anything's really going to come of this as far as the fights go as they untangle the masses. But it was Clifford who's out there trying to spark his team with some physical play, taking a good run behind the net. Peluso there doesn't see him coming. He's engaged already with Muzzin, trying to protect the pocket. Clifford comes down from his wing position on the back check, and then everybody's involved. Peluso's gloves are off, Thorburns' gloves are off, and it's a melee in the corner. I think you're obviously going to get a first penalty to Clifford for a charge or a bore, interference, whatever, not interference, charge, elbow, whatever it might be for the first hit on Peluso. And then they'll try to sort out the rest.
Well, it certainly wasn't a headshot. I mean, looking at the replay, he got him
that is
upper chest.
That is a hit that they are trying to take out of the game when you're engaged with one guy and guys cruise in from the blue line positions, catch a guy with his head down, and he did finish up pretty high and through. And but the default call, Paul, would be a charge.
Yeah. And I say it wasn't because if it was a headshot,
yeah, it'd be a no-brainer. It'd be 5, and he'd be in trouble.
Peluso would still be in the ice.
Yes.
I mean, that he would have just been wiped out had that been a headshot. But wow.
So Peluso's trying to fend off Buzz. It takes a quick peek at the puck, and then look out. Here comes Clifford. Does he stay on his feet? Loads up, and yeah, see, he's off his feet. Elbows up pretty high.
Yeah.
So they could do just about anything they want. They can give him a 5 there if they really wanted to. Certainly, I think Winnipeg's going to get a power play out of it. Clifford's still in the box, so it doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Got him sort of right in the upper sternum, just precariously close to getting him across the jaw, which would have been disastrous for Peluso.
And it's been a good response by Winnipeg, though. That line's out there, Nolan and Clifford down 3-0. They're going to try to get physical, stir it up a little bit, and then as soon as that happens, all 5 Jets down in the corner.
So it is 2 for charging and 2 for roughing to Clifford.
And the roughing will probably offset, and it probably will just be the 2 initial charge, and then matching roughing minors for Peluso, Thorburn, Nolan, and Clifford. End result will be a 5-on-4, 2-minute power play for Winnipeg as they go back to work trying to extend the lead to 4.
Jets scoring 3 goals in 3 minutes. If you were a little late in joining us, Perreault at 3:39, Little at 4:31, Wheeler at 6:39. They're 1 for 1 in their power play tonight, coming in the wake of an 0 for 7 power play performance against Arizona the other night. Here's Wheeler, works it back out. Perreault, top of the point, puck rifled through, quick with the save. That was Byfuglien who fired the shot. And Big Buff back to pick it up. 1 week ago tonight, playing in Winnipeg against Toronto, Byfuglien with one of the most dominating individual performances I've seen this season. He had just a great night, physically dominant, offensively, was a real leader. He gets caught there almost, and then picked the pocket of Carter, who was almost away. And Doughty fires it down the ice.
A little sense of that strength of Dustin Byfuglien there as Carter was in on a 2-on-0 if he doesn't knock that one down.
Evander Kane tees it up there for Byfuglien, who starts back. 1 minute to go in the Winnipeg power play. Going for the front of the net there was Scheifele. Couldn't get it to him. Enstrom tucks it up. Scheifele ringing in around the boards. Skips up towards the corner. Scheifele will come over here on the right side, waiting for it. He'll start back towards the corner. Looking out in front. He had Lowry there battling for real estate just off the edge of the crease. Puck back to the line. Kane fires one through. That was blocked. Comes down, backhand shot. Knifed there by Frolik. It'll come back out to Kane. Kane, Frolik, fired one. That was blocked. Martinez got in front of it. That was 2 blocked shots for Martinez on that shift.
Really a shot-first mentality for the Jets power play tonight. Lots of wristers, lots of movement, just trying to get it down to the front of the net with some traffic. The Rangers were successful against the Kings in their last game.
Stepping up and firing one was Halischuk. 3 shots on goal during that power play for Winnipeg.
Did Schultz just knock that out of the air over the...
Well, that is what the Kings are appealing. We will check this for you and let you know when we come back with more in a moment on Hockey Night in Canada.
And Sportsnet want to send you to the 2015 Honda NHL All-Star Game. Visit nextissue.ca/all-star for your chance to win.
So it's been a tough start for the LA Kings, down 3-0. Could be worse though. If you watch this play carefully, watch Schultz stick. Puck comes up into the glass there by Perreault. It starts coming back down, and right there, it's Schultz who whacks that out of the air, and that looks like it's straight over the glass to me. Tough to see for the referees and linesmen as there are lots of sticks up there, but that could have very easily been a delay of game penalty on Schultz.
Mike, you were chatting to a couple of the guys during the break. What did they say?
They thought that it was a Jet stick that got a piece of that one, and you can see why they might think that lots of sticks up there, but no, that was Schultz all the way.
Back there to break it up. Little. Nice little bit of back checking. And he heads back the other way and takes it here just outside the blue line. Takes the hit, but managed to chop the puck in.
He's feeling that too. Drew Doughty got him right in the chest.
In over the line, Carter. Up towards the corner. Pearson looking for it. Sends it around back of the net. Sherratt scuttling after it. He's got the puck now. Sherratt scored his first NHL goal a week ago tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Clears the puck in. Green. Lewis. King out to center. And he will loft it in. The one hopper fielded by Hutchinson, and he hangs on to it.
Couple All-Stars from the LA Kings, Anze Kopitar, and of course Drew Doughty, who has one of the best years you could imagine. 2014, look at what he did. Of course, the Olympic gold medal, one of the best players for Canada over in Sochi. Another Stanley Cup, and an incredible performance through the playoffs again. Drew some consideration for the Canadian Athlete of the Year. And hugely important right now for LA. Slava Voyanov not in the lineup all year long, playing big-time minutes.
Puck comes across now. Nolan giving a bit of a bump. That's Jordan Nolan. Couldn't get the shot away. Back the other way comes Byfuglien. Ditches off. He continues into the slot, trying to battle his way back and get possession of that puck. Couldn't do it. And back quickly. King in over the blue line. Nolan trying to feed it back to him. He was tied up there, watched along the boards. This is Byfuglien. Up to the blue line, looking across towards the middle for some support. He got it up to the corner. Slater up there giving a rub. Slater gets it back along the wall. Byfuglien over to lend his presence. Puck stuffed up towards the corner. Kane with a good low shot. Rebound right in front. Slater with a jab at it, and play is whistled down.
I think Kyle Raymond, referee right there, thought that Quick held that rebound. even though Slater was jumping on it for a pretty good opportunity. And good battle as Slater and Richards on the ground, but you listen to it here, puck's it right in front. And he thinks he's got it in his pads.
Bit of a quick whistle.
You're sealed off. What are you going to do? You yell at the referee, says he lost it, and we say, okay, don't do it again. And get a sense of how strong Dustin Byfuglien is. That's on Jordan Nolan. Excuse me. Knocks him right off his skates, takes the puck, and off he goes. What a performance he has had since he's moved to playing defense for the Jets.
He moved back to playing defense December the 5th in a game against Colorado, directly because of all the injuries the Jets had suffered on the blue line. He prefers to play defense, and I think Paul Maurice is going to have a bit of a dilemma on his hands when everyone is back and healthy.
It's a good problem to have. Take their all-star defenseman, who can be a very good forward, and do you move him up when you got another great young defenseman, Trouba, back, or do you just let him hang back there where he likes to play? Good problem to have.
Doughty got it up there along the boards. This is McNabb with it now. Shoveled it up there to Dustin Brown, who steers it down into Jets territory. Doughty just stepping off the ice, by the way, for those of you who keep track of such things. He passes 1,200 career minutes tonight. Pardon me, not career minutes, obviously. 1,200 minutes played. Puck chipped in. He plays a lot of ice time. About 29-14 per game, to be specific. So far this season. Ladd got it back to the line. Puck steered in. That was batted down by Quick. Pearson.
That's a second interference penalty for Byfuglien.
And I can hear him yelling at that. Can't believe you're going to call that.
And you can see what he's saying here. Puck is right onto Pearson's stick. It bounces over it. He doesn't necessarily make contact with it, but it's right there. And Byfuglien finishes the check. Nothing wrong with the hit as far as making it illegal, other than the fact that Pearson didn't touch the puck. But it has been a physical period for Dustin Byfuglien. We sort of a Jordan Nolan right there on Pearson. That's on Dustin Brown. It has been a force physically throughout this third period. And look what he's done since shifting back there to defense. The 11 points are nice, but it's the 27-03 that he plays a night. Eating up all those minutes when they didn't have much left, when their top 4 defensemen were all on the injured list. He stepped back there and plays about half the game.
LA Kings with only 2 shots on goal, down 3-0. 6:15 to go in this opening period, and to state the obvious, really needing this power play to get something sparked. Doughty snapped it up there in the wing for Kopitar. Kopitar roughed out there back of the net, nobody out in front. And the puck fired out of play, and that is going to be...
That's a 5-on-3, absolutely.
Yeah, 2-man advantage coming up.
Jim Slater trying to get it off the glass, clearing it hard, and sailed it over the benches. Up into the crowd. He's right where he should be, right on the lip of the crease for that loose puck. Doesn't want to go up the middle in case he gets picked off, goes for the safe route, but it just gets away on him, and a huge opportunity here for the Kings. Minute 35, 5-on-3.
Again, their power play, 11th in the league heading into this game. 5-on-3. In those situations, they're 1 for 7 this year. Kopitar walks it in tight, dishes off, comes back, Doughty moves it up. Lots of traffic in front. Carter is there in the slot. Kopitar with it here. Carter goes to the front. Puck ripped wide. Skips up around for Doughty. Works it over. Carter down low. Kopitar is off the edge of the crease. Doughty shooting. Big stop. Rebound. Scores. Kopitar.
And they needed it, and they got it. Anze Kopitar on the back door. And there's not much you can do. You're going to give up some good chances, and they run a little play here, intentionally sliding Carter down to the front, kicking it over to Doughty, the one-timer, and then you're just hoping the rebound doesn't find a stick of the LA Kings, and Hutchinson makes a save. Quick feet by Kopitar pulling it back, and nothing the Jets could do about that one. As Hutchinson tries to fight it off but can't get to the back door, and that's a huge goal for the Kings. Get back into this game.
Kopitar averaging a point per game over the last 27 games. And that will now be 28. Much needed for the Kings. 3-1. Puck steered in. Hutchinson is going to smother it with the Kings cruising in there, looking for a loose puck.
Anze Kopitar, undoubtedly the most gifted offensive player for the LA Kings, and had a bit of a slow start, to say the least, as people can do coming out of a Stanley Cup win, but look what he's done since then. 27 games, 27 points. Not getting a ton of shots on net, but really pushing the offense, that number one line for the Kings.
Martinez worked it up there along the boards. Looking is Williams. Got it out, chopped. Oh, he was very tight, Pearson was. And still managed to get a decent shot away. And by tight, I mean well guarded. A couple of guys right near him. One-man advantage for the Kings. They score in the two-man advantage. 50 seconds, 5-0. Still to go in this power play. They cash one here. And bang, brand new game. Martinez along the wall.
We showed earlier, the Jets have been shorthanded most times of any team in the NHL, and in a game they had full control, and a couple penalties, power play goal against, and another in a game again.
Gaborik got it in over the blue line up there with Williams. Fired it up. Oh, sneaking in was Gaborik. He's got it now. Looks around. Muzzin was in the high slot. Doughty at the top of the point. He goes up back of the net. Kopitar with it. Williams. Doughty waiting for it. Looks for Muzzin. Finds him. Steps up. Shoots. Fires. Goal! Justin Williams. And it's 3-2. The Kings right back in it.
Good puck movement, good puck retrievals right here. Quick little poke from Williams, keeps Little down low, and then Kopitar and Stewart. Stewart's trying to block this pass with his stick while fronting Kopitar. And a head up from Jake Muzzin, slap pass all the way through the traffic to Justin Williams. Good skate to stop the puck and then shoveling the empty net, much like Anze Kopitar's goal. But that's a good look from Muzzin, knowing he can't get a shot for a goal, but get it to the back post and give yourself a chance.
2 goals in 1 minute and 27 seconds. And Mike, I'm guessing the Kings bench looks a little more engaged right now. They get 2, and they're down by 1. More to come on Hockey Night in Canada.
So the LA Kings rally back, and all of a sudden, a lot more life on that bench. Look a little more interested, a little more chatter. But the one thing that didn't happen, even when they were down 3-0, is you did not see their coaches react negatively. They weren't happy, of course, but there was no yelling, no screaming. They trusted that their group would be able to figure it out, continue to play this game, grind it out, and they find themselves right back in it, just down 1. And the Jets, they're a little shell-shocked right now, but you give up a 5-on-3, couple power play goals against, the message will be do the same things 5-on-5, and we'll be just fine.
5 goals in 12 minutes and 19 seconds.
5 goals on 15 shots against a couple of better goaltenders in the league is not helping the save percentage, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you're right on there. Yeah, I mean, Quick and Hutchinson, who would have called that?
I was hoping for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no skin off my nose. Lots of goals to call. I love it. Nightmare for coaches and goalies. Puck comes out in front. Carter. Now Byfuglien. And the puck steered up. McNabb back to pick it up. Here's Pearson. In there against Bogosian. Enstrom. And close quarters there in the corner. Great look for you with Williams dashing around, trying to coax that puck loose. Puck comes back there for Green. Fires it through, knocked down in front. Backhand shot still loose. Big chance there for Williams, and he couldn't land the payload on the target. Puck's going to roll up. Fighting up there. Wheeler after it. He collapses down onto the ice. spins into the corner, but the Jets on the hunt. Puck moved back up. Wheeler looking for it. He was knocked down. Puck steered out, icing wave. And Enstrom back to pick it up. Jets and Kings both making changes. 2:13 to go in this first period. A very entertaining opening frame, I must say. 5 goals in 12 minutes and 19 seconds. Jets jumped out to a 3-0 lead. The Kings battling back with a couple of power play goals. Here's Brown. Sends it up around. Gaborik looking for it there, number 12 for the Kings, working with Kopitar. And broken up there, pushed out. That was Sherratt who got it down the ice. Halischuk looking for it. Kane up there. Here's Halischuk, 15 with a swipe at it. It comes to Lowry. He's under some pressure. Kane tried to get it in front. He had Halischuk there at the top of the crease. And on the way back down comes Brown working in. Gets it up. Kopitar right in there. And the pad firmly down on the ice to seal it. Good job by Hutchinson. And then he gives Kopitar a shove for good measure.
Another penalty coming up, though, on the back check. Lowry's going to go for a slash. Looking maybe there's going to be a penalty shot. See, Lowry's tired. He's straight-legging it already. He's right with Kopitar, but he's just too late in his shift. He can't do anything about it. And Kopitar hard into the pad and harder into the post. And lucky to get his head out of the way. Shoulder takes the brunt of the blow. Ends up on Hutchinson's leg, but the power play has got the Kings back into this game. 2 power play goals on a 5-on-3 sequence, and they head right back to the man advantage late in the period.
It's been a good power play for the Kings, 2 for 3 in this game. 3 shots in total, a couple of goals.
Paul Maurice is not happy with that call at all. He was on top of the bench getting on the refs. It was not much of a slash, more of a toe pick falling forward by Kopitar as he attempted the move.
You think it was that, or did Kopitar sell it a little bit?
No, he's not selling. He's just trying to make a move and he fell forward. He's not trying to draw a penalty.
Martinez works it up. Brown to the corner. Up there with Pearson. Brown drops down low. Brown. And the puck fired down the ice. Under a minute to go, so the power play will carry over to period number 2. Barring a Kings goal. Muzzin threw it up there for Kopitar, who fired it in. Carter moving up to pressure. Wheeler not able to get it out. Puck comes over. Muzzin had to take a moment to gain control. Kopitar gets it back. Doughty shooting. That skipped just wide. Blocker side. Carter. Doughty. Muzzin. Puck was rolling on it. Carter moves up. Shoots. Oh, that hit the pad. Rebound comes down. Kopitar looking. He's looking for Doughty. He finds him. Waiting. Waiting still. Little double clutch, and it's deflected to the corner. Enstrom over after it. Gets it around the boards and out. 4 seconds to go. Doughty might have time for one shot. No, he won't. And time runs out with 37 seconds remaining in the power play that will carry over into period number 2. Wow, what a first period. And it's the Kings trailing. First intermission coming up on Hockey Night in Canada.
As we get set for second period action, I am with Winnipeg Jets coach Paul Maurice. Paul, this morning at practice, you called the Kings the kind of team that's capable of flipping a switch. Is that what we saw in the first?
No, we just had too many guys sitting in the box. It's hard when you only got 3 on the ice and they got 5.
Did you talk to your players about staying out of the box?
No, I liked our period. Like, if we're taking penalties playing that hard, I'm not saying anything to them. You know, you got to fight for every puck. Sometimes those calls don't go the way you'd like, but I like the way we're playing tonight.
Thanks for this, Paul.
My pleasure.
Paul Romanek, up to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. And yeah, you couldn't fault the Jets' great effort in that first period, although they do take a lot of penalties, more than any other team in the league. And I don't know, Mike, is that just a byproduct of their style? Is that something you want to rein in? I mean, did you see any particularly undisciplined penalties in that period?
Not that period specifically. A lot of the Byfuglien penalties, both of them, you could argue that They were just playing hard, good physical hockey. The shot over the glass, what are you going to do about that? Lowry gets caught on a breakaway chasing. But you don't become the most penalized team in the league just with bad breaks and playing hard. There's obviously some habits that need to be broken as far as reaching with sticks and being a little bit careless. And that is what the coach would focus on. Not necessarily from that first period, but over the course of time. Those are habits you're going to try to correct.
Well, apropos of our discussion, the Jets will start this second period shorthanded. And
players ready. The scoreboard not just yet.
No.
Only.
There, they had to reset it. The clock was at 18 minutes rather than 20. Now they've got 20 punched in, so we'll start over again. 33 seconds to go on the advantage. And still first period on the...
It's been a busy day. They had the Clips in here this afternoon. They're going double duty. They're trying to get things up and running. And busy building, but one thing about being this busy, the ice seemed to hold up pretty well in that first period. Didn't see a lot of pucks bouncing around. Didn't seem to get too slow or snowy, which is a testament to the ice crew here in LA.
If you're not a basketball aficionado, you may not be aware, and if you're not, I'll tell you, the Clippers and the Lakers both share this building. And the Lakers played a night game. Kopitar comes in. Clippers came back with an afternoon game, then throw in a hockey game. Busy place. Here's Doughty. Gaborik shoots. That was blocked in the way through, and rebound came out there, teed up for Frolik to get out and down the ice. Just a few seconds to go. Maybe time to establish the zone before the penalized player comes on. Nice solo effort there by Carter to try to break through. Penalized player is back out there. Lowry gets it up and ahead. Wheeler. Oh, pass coming back across. Kopitar being badgered by Bufflin. Back in comes Ladd. Shoots. Snapped a rising shot and rebound. Chopped on goal by Wheeler. And Quick with a couple of saves.
Another penalty.
And, yeah, another call coming up. And it's against the Jets.
Paul Maurice can just have that right smile. He's going to go for a slash because he broke through Doughty's stick. And that is a call that is almost pretty consistent. Good wrister here, trying to find this puck, and right there, that's a pretty good chop right in the stick. Good call by the referees. That is a deserved penalty. Comes down pretty hard. Gets the stick out of Doughty's hand so Wheeler can jump on the rebound.
Referees tonight: Kyle Rimmon and Kelly Sutherland. Derek Amell and Shane Heyer on the lines. Puck comes back here to Williams. Walks it across the blue line. Snaps one through. Wide of the target. Up down there off the glass. Brown takes it over here in the right point. Sneaking up, looking. Sliding it back. Martinez at the blue line. Worked it over. Wrist shot off the post and skips up and around. And Slater comes out. And Slater run into the sand there in the corner, and the Kings will start back. Williams. Leaving it there for Stoll, who cleared it in. 1:18 to go in the power play. And the Jets leading 3-2. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Kings battling back with a pair. Quick out there with just a disastrous example of puck handling, and he almost got caught.
Well, he did, because he's going to cost his team the power play by Kane drawing a penalty as the Kings came close to tying it up. Justin Williams on the shot, but this shot is only threatening because he gets it through the screen. Hutchinson doesn't even see it. He just hears it. And there's the quick bad angle there. And the speed of Kane back in the lineup forces the hook on Jared Stoll before he gets the wraparound attempt. A little 4-on-4 hockey here.
They will go 4-on-4 for 106. Kane in a foot race gets over there, but tried to dump it back out, and Williams breaking it up. But Kane, great persistence. He's jarred to the ice, but bounces right back up. That was Muzzin who hit him pretty solidly. Doughty moves the puck up. Kane chips it up towards the corner. He's got Scheifele up there with him. Scheifele coming over now. He bumped his man, Doughty. Williams leaves it there at the line, trying to snake his way in as Richards had his pocket picked. And Kane back the other way. Hits the line, offside. A little hesitation there in the left wing, and then Kane a few words with Doughty, and then Williams coming in, and let's all gather around.
A late hit by Doughty on Kane after the whistle. Results in this one as they continue their conversation right there. Eddie with a smile as he likes to play the game with. And then Kane played pretty well. First game back after missing 5, lower body injury. He's supposed to be out till February, but well before then, and that's a late little bump, which is always going to draw a crowd. And it's a good time for Evander Kane to come back, because you look what he's done against the Kings in his career. 9 points in 6 games. That's solid stuff against a tough defensive team. The Jets are happy to have him back in the lineup for a variety of reasons.
He's had 3 shots on goal tonight, a couple of hits. Looking good right back into the lineup for the Jets. He also missed 8 games back in October with a lower body injury, so he's had some health problems this year. Team's even for another 5 seconds, and then the Jets will enjoy a power play. And it starts now. 54-second man advantage for Winnipeg. They're 1 for 2 in the power play. They've had 4 power play shots on goal. This is Little. Works it back. Looking through there was Byfuglien, and he'll take it back. Byfuglien again at the line. Oh, he gets stripped. And Carter coming in. Big chance. Off the post. It bounces down and stays out.
Carter thought that was in. The crowd certainly thought that was in. Kelly Sutherland blows it down early. It looked like he's going to go upstairs.
I don't think that went in.
No, it's crossbar and out. Dustin Byfuglien turned it over at the blue line. Jeff Carter from his own blue line all kinds of time, goes backhand long reach, and ping off the crossbar, off the pad, and stays out. No goal. And all the time the roll. Looks like a penalty shot. Nobody chasing him. Pulling control from center. Ping, and the crowd erupts, but no dice. And the Jets will keep their 1-goal lead. Still 30 seconds left, 27 seconds left.
Upon video review, the puck hit the crossbar, did not enter the net. No goal.
Well, lots of boos, but they put it up in the scoreboard here in the Staples Center, and no more boos. It was the right call.
Can't be much more conclusive than that, but that long reach of Jeff Carter attacks the net, hands very close together, can shoot or deke with possession like that. Had Hutchinson beat cleanly, just barred down and out.
Meanwhile, the match that started the fire, if you will, Byfuglien stripped of the puck massively up there in the offensive zone. Haven't seen that happen many times. He's been back there in the blue line. He's been pretty sound. Puck comes back. Enstrom fires one. Puck bounces down. Bogosian works it around back of the goal. 9 seconds of the power play. Enstrom throws it across. Moving up is Bogosian. Team's back at even strength. Here comes Brown. Working in there. Kopitar is with him. He's in there. Tried to tuck it back in front. They scramble after it.
It's another quick whistle.
A quick whistle, you bet.
Hutchinson did not have that puck. It's still loose. And that's twice we've seen the quick whistle. One time hurting the Jets, this time hurting the Kings. And again, the speed from Kopitar. Putting people under duress, forcing a diving save, but it's loose there. Brown's got it on his stick, and then here comes the early whistle. Kelly Sutherland behind the play, thought Hutchinson had it incorrectly. It has been an eventful night.
Puck comes back to Green. Fired a quick wrist shot on goal. Wrestled down. Rebound cleared across. Muzzin over after it. Up towards the corner. It's it down low. Lewis looking around. He was battered there by Jay Harrison, who was all over him. Clifford gets it up around back of the goal. Stewart, not much time to think. Scheifele. Oh, he was stood up there at the line by Green, whose stick came up on him. This is Matt Green. Long shot. Whistles it in. Steered away by Hutchinson. Over into the corner. Sherratt moves it across there for Perreault. Back for Sherratt. A little bit of space. Able to get to center and fire it in. Quick out there to park it back to the net. This is Doughty. Jets were making a few changes. Williams on the way back up. Trying to work with Stoll. They get it in over the blue line. It bounces into Hutchinson. He is going to hang on to it.
Nominate your community at khv2015.ca by February 8th for your chance to be the next Kraft Hockeyville. Brought to you by Philadelphia Cream Cheese.
Shots on goal, only 12-10 so far in this game. In favor of the Jets, by the way, and they lead by a score of 3-2. 5 goals between the two teams. Quick has struggled his last couple of starts. Counting this one, 7 goals in his last 2 starts and a save percentage just over 800. Very unquick-like. Doughty tucks it along there for Stoll. And Doughty will hustle back to regain position at the blue line. Williams looking around. Doughty over on the right side. Had sneaked up there. King trying to coax that puck loose along the wall. This is McNabb. Works it down low. Williams is parked right in front, really battling for real estate. Doughty chips it up. Williams still in front. Tried to get the puck out to him, but it was tipped. And Kane breaks out now. Trying to slip around McNabb. Now McNabb with it. Kane had him in the crosshairs and gave him a good bump along the boards. Kopitar gave his man a little bump. Williams. This is Sherratt. Some room rapidly up there on the left side. Gains the blue line, looking towards the front. Got it up there. Oh, Peluso had a bead on the front of that goal and was driving to the net. He's down low now after it. Peluso battling there with Muzzin. And the puck fired up. It just got past Buckland and down the ice. And it's an icing call on Los Angeles.
Tremendous pace to this game down here. And it's been a physical one. You can tell the sense that both teams digging in, tied with each other in the playoff race, holding down the 2 wild card spots right now and playing appropriately to where they are in the standings right now.
Here's Muzzin. Saucered that one out. Little knocked it down. Ladd up there in pursuit. Ladd, Little. Doughty. Hutchinson parks it there. Bogosian. Puck coming up for Ladd on the left side. Ladd looking through. He had Little going towards the front of the net, but the play disintegrates there on the left side, and the puck cleared, and it will be another icing call on the Los Angeles Kings.
Game is settled in here a little bit. Daryl Sutter can never tell if he's winning or losing. Always looks the same. I think the guys appreciate that. Very much under control. He's got some bite to his coaching style, but not to his demeanor. And Paul Maurice can always a little bit easier how he's feeling about the way of the game. Very intense on the bench.
Big thing with Sutter, boy, does he ever support his players. He always has their backs.
Yep.
No matter what the game, when he comes out to talk to the media, always has his players' backs. And as a guy who played the game like yourself, I would think you don't always play for a guy like that. And it's got to be a real honor when you get to.
Does not go unnoticed and unappreciated by the players.
Perreault down low, fighting for that puck. He's battling with Schultz. Perreault, Schultz watching him. Tipped up there by Carter, hustling up hard after it is Williams. He got there, over to Carter, looking out towards the front. Pearson is down there. He's out by the hash marks. Williams in the corner. Carter with it. Williams down low. Scheifele broke it up there nicely for the Jets. Got it around for Harrison. And puck pops into the bench. Play whistle down. We'll take a timeout with 11:34 to go in the period on Hockey Night in Canada from Los Angeles. Thanks, Chris. That Calgary-Vancouver game, if you're so inclined, is over on CBC. If you want to check that one out. Lots of hockey all over the dial for you. Pick your favorite game. How it's supposed to work. Kane up into the corner. Gets it out in front. Rolled precariously there through a vacant slot. Lowry wasn't able to get there in time. Back the other way. One-handed effort there from Brown coming down the right side. Clifford trying to coax it loose. Buffalo. Wrist shot. In there on goal, and that is stopped and held by Jonathan Quick.
Jonathan Quick, Conn Smythe winner, two-time Stanley Cup winner. Clearly this year likes the comforts of home. Look at the difference in the numbers. Now some of that is reflected, of course, in the way the team has played in front of him, but typical Quick, I would say, on the left, and not so typical on the right. 900 save percentage is not going to get it done in this league, whether you're Jonathan Quick or anybody else. And they also had to put some pressure on his goal. They said they need to be better for them to be able to run together. That means Jonathan Quick.
All that being said, he's struggling a bit this year, but statistically, the greatest goalie in LA Kings franchise history. Wins, save percentage, shutouts, all those marks. King up there battling and taking some abuse from Bogosian. King drifts towards the front of the net. Backhand shot, knifed on goal. Stepping into the fray there was Jake Muzzin, who had the good chance, and King up there was hovering, looking for a rebound.
Jake Muzzin in a different role tonight, not with Drew Doughty, his usual partner, playing with Matt Green. Staying alive, getting in low, and Zach Bogosian trying to get that puck to the corner before Muzzin jumps on it, puts a back and in on, but Hutchison, good save, no rebound. And Muzzin also shortened the bench to his dismay last game. Only 17 minutes, first time less than 20 all year, as again Daryl Sutter said, you don't play for what you did a few months ago, you get to play for what you're doing in that night. He didn't like what Muzzin was doing on that night against the Rangers in their last game.
Bit of a ruck there along the boards. It finally comes away to Frolik, who starts back quickly. Got it up and ahead. Scheifele coming hard up to the corner. Frolik up there with him, back at the net. Flashing into the play, looking for it. Frolik peels off towards the front of the goal. Now back in the net. He was trying to get there, but Schultz cut it off. Got it up along the boards. Here's Frolik again. Yeoman's service on this shift for the Winnipeg forward. Sherratt pokes it up towards the corner. Fired up and around by Schultz. Tipped out there by Brown. Brown swings in, gets it ahead. Kopitar couldn't quite reel that one in.
Again, it was Kopitar with the speed late, though, beating the Jets up the ice to turn even man rushes into odd. If you're out there with him, you have to have about 5-7 feet to give yourself a little cushion to catch up to him.
Puck tipped down the ice. Knocked down, this is Lowry. Lowry looking for it there at the line. Steers it back. Stewart swings it over. Halischuk was tight roping along the blue line. Now he jumps in, but couldn't get there in time. Comes up, Williams in there. He's stopped. Rebound. Pushed in back of the net. Williams sends it out in front of the net. Knocked away. Back and forth they go. Kane up to the line. He was upended.
You got Pearson still trying to get off the ice after going to the boards after that rebound. But then he waiting on his left foot.
He does make it to the bench. We'll keep an eye on him. Puck poked out, fired right back in by Doughty. Peluso. Pearson heading down to the dressing room, so worse for wear to be sure. Lewis comes in, shoots, rising shot, is grabbed and held by Hutchinson. But of concern, Tanner Pearson, who went into the boards heavily as the Kings stormed the net, and he labored getting to the bench.
Pearson trying to get to a rebound after a Justin Williams breakaway. Williams does a nice job picking this puck up. Goes back end. The puck's just sitting there. Jay Harrison coming back on the back check. And then Pearson slides feet first into the boards. And then Harrison falls on top of him. That extra weight twisted up something in his lower body, and he came off, no weight. And if it's his ankle, gets tucked underneath him right there.
Yep.
Not look good.
Bad news for Tanner Pearson. We'll try to get an update for you if there's one coming. Timeout right now. Welcome back to the Staples Center. Tanner Pearson disappeared down the tunnel after that last shift. I expect we won't see him back. Looked like a left knee or ankle. Lewis up looking for it. Back to the blue line for Green. Snaps one through that drops down lifelessly in the corner. Up after it was Lewis. Gets it around back of the net. Enstrom. Out at center. Lewis walked it to the line, came back, and finally Green chops it in. 3-2, the Jets lead. All the scoring coming in the first period. The teams trading 5 goals. Winnipeg jumped out to a 3-0 lead. The Jets weren't able to hold that. Trying to unload there was Doughty. That was blocked into the corner. Puck poked in, Stahl after it. Looks towards the front, nobody was there. Clifford was trying to get into position. He's there now, just off the edge of the crease, just out of your picture. But the puck is cleared down the ice. McNabb scoops it all the way over for Drew Doughty. Up at center, steered up ahead there. Nola coming down the wing, moves in, dropped it back, puck fire, that was knocked down. Great chance for Dwight King. King in the corner. Getting some help there from Stahl. King looks around, slides it down low for Nolan. Trying to bulldoze his way there to the front. He's still got it. Nolan looking around. He's got company. Stewart over there to bump him. Now King jumping into the fray. He's knocked down. Jets holding the fort. LA pressuring. Kopitar stepped out. Had a great look at it. Here's Ladd. And he will get that puck down the ice.
Jets are in need of a momentum shift because right now LA is just rolling it over, playing in the Jets end the entire time.
Here comes Kopitar and over the line. Tucked it up ahead. Right in front of the net was Brown.
Oh, what a pass and pickup.
Here's Brown again. Works it back out, and it was tipped and went right between the two defensemen. Schultz back to pick it up. Throws it up ahead there. Scheifele with it. Byfuglien moves it over. Kopitar and Brown. What a great combination that was. Here's Crowley. Bumps it in there for Winnipeg. Up along the boards. Perreault up looking forward in the corner. Scheifele up there as well. Martinez. Schultz. Up there on the wing. Gaborik being tied up. Sherratt got it out to center. Kane and Haluschuk up there trying to get a forecheck going for Winnipeg. Kings, though, they've got the momentum right now. Williams comes in. Pardon me, that's King. Gets it up into the corner. Carter after it. All the way back out. High slot. Fired a a shot. That was blocked there by Lowry. Clears it back out. And tapped in by Haluschuk, and the Jets will again hustle in some changes. Under 5 minutes to go here in this second period. Kane taps it up there at the line. Knocked down, controlled by Green. Worked it over. Muzzin. Hutchinson. Williams sneaking up there for the Kings. Slater. Oh, puck tap there. Knocked down by Richards, but really couldn't gain control. Here's Richards again. With control this time. Moving in. Backhand shot. And deflected into the goalie. And it is tied up. 4 minutes to go in this second period. Great chance, Kopitar. Beautiful feed into Brown, right on the doorstep, but denied by Hutchinson. Back in a moment. Pearson will not come back in this game, or I would be shocked if he did. I should probably temper that a little bit.
I mean, look what he's done. 4th in rookie goal scoring. Was just named to the All-Star festivities today as one of the 6 rookies that are going, along with the 3 guys above him in that goal scoring race as well. And he's getting it done at even strength, which is equally important for the LA Kings. So now they're without Toffoli with mono. Pearson, whatever happened to his left leg, and all of a sudden Jeff Carter's all by himself up there. You got to start playing with Dwight King and Jordan Nolan.
This is Zach Bogosian for the Jets. It has been a wild one. Winnipeg in a bit of a string here, 7 games in the next 11 days, coming off a terrible performance in Arizona. Here's Perreault on a little wraparound there. He also had Scheifele right in front. Enstrom. Scheifele. Here's Enstrom. Back into the lineup tonight. A welcome addition to the Winnipeg blue line, where they had been beset by injuries. Kopitar got it up. Carter. Byfuglien drives up. Dropped that shoulder. Tried to muscle his way in towards the slot. Little looking for it. Wheeler into the mix as well. Kings come away with it. Carter. Wheeler. Doughty there to break it up. Nice little move, and here it comes. Throws it over. Doughty goes, looking for the return feed. Kopitar was up there as well. Puck will come out. Gaborik was trying to find Kopitar, but it was broken up. There wasn't much on the pass. In over the blue line comes Lowry. He's run into the sand there along the wall. Nowhere to go. Kopitar gets it up along the boards. Williams gave it away just outside the blue line. Snapped back in by Lowry. Into the corner. Lowry's right down in front. Coming out with a shot was Kane. Back down. Haluschuk looking for it. Kane trying to catch up to it. Stewart had pinched up from the left point, but neither of them were able to keep it in. That's an icing call on Los Angeles.
You want to be sharp and efficient with your scoring chances. That means getting pucks to the net when you can. Look at Marian Gaborik. He's hot. He's scoring goals. He's a goal scorer and a shooter. And watch his head. He gets this puck, doesn't once glance toward the net. The entire time he's looking for someone to pass it to. Never even threaten the net with the thought of shooting it. And that's not his game. His game is to skate, shoot, and let that wrister go, because he can beat goalies from where he was right there.
He had Doughty going to the net, and it looked as though he was looking for Carter as well.
Sometimes a pass off the pads isn't a bad idea either.
Perreault looking for it. Puts it down into the corner. Scheifele up. Here's Perreault. Started the scoring in this game for the Winnipeg Jets. Enstrom back to pick it up. And with company, Enstrom trying to hold off a couple of Kings. Williams is up there. It's knocked down. Dustin Brown going after it. Williams hanging up on the wing there. Puck didn't come to him. Scheifele steers it up. Bogosian fires it down in there, and play is called back. 1:17 to go in the second period.
The LA Kings have some high-end stars, of course. Kopitar, Carter, but they really get it done with their depth. And you look at the teams with 10 or more goal scorers, and LA right there with 5. Not depending on any one player, counting on all kinds of guys to get it done. Same way they get it done in the playoffs with their 4-line depth.
Second intermission coming up, and you'll want to stick around. George Stroumboulopoulos in an extended conversation with Joe Nieuwendyk, our special guest in studio tonight. Puck fired towards the goal. It's going to come up around. This is Green. Puck knocked down. Back to Lewis. He's looking for a bit of room. None was found. Into the corner. Lewis after it again. Working up there in tandem with King. Lewis, King trying to coax it loose. Enstrom for the Jets. Works it up. Puck comes across. And it's just dumped in.
Good hit by Matt Green, stepping up on Scheifele. No one to pass it up and hit tonight.
Scheifele was tired too. That was the end of a long shift. Here comes Kopitar breaking through. Oh, fired that one. And it thumps up around the glass and boards and down the ice. Just flicked his wrist and sent that one flying towards the target. Final seconds of this second period. All 5 goals in this game scored in the first period. Nothing in the second, and through 2, it is Winnipeg 3 and the LA Kings 2. We'll take a break. When we come back, George Stroumboulopoulos in conversation with our special guest tonight, Joe Nieuwendyk, on Hockey Night in Canada.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. Winnipeg Jets with a 3-2 lead as we head to the third period. Well, they call themselves the Jets Army. A large number of Winnipeg Jets fans who embarked on a 3-game road trip that actually began in Arizona, their game against the Coyotes Thursday. Many of them are here again tonight in LA, and they will then continue to Anaheim tomorrow. The whole purpose of the trip to cheer on the Jets, but also to cheer on Teemu Selanne. Of course, the Ducks giving a tribute night to Teemu tomorrow. They will raise his number 8 to the rafters. Selanne, of course, an original Winnipeg Jet. He scored 76 goals in his rookie season with the Jets, ended his career in Anaheim, 21 seasons, 1,457 points. And there's the kind of enthusiastic Jets fans that are here in attendance tonight. They sure liked the way the game started, Paul.
Just a fantastic hockey city, to state the obvious, but one of the best buildings in the league. Whenever you go there, great intensity, crowd, and yeah, the people who follow them around on the road. Seen it in a few cities this year. And heading to Anaheim to salute one of the all-time great Winnipeg Jets, Teemu Selanne. So what is in store in this third period? Let's see. First period, 5 goals between the two teams. Kings ran roughshod over a 3-0 Winnipeg lead and battled back with a couple power play goals. 3-2. No scoring in the second. That one fired. Scheifele got in front of it. Brown was jumped there in front of the net. He's right back up and creeping towards the corner looking for a loose puck. Tucked over by Schultz, chucked towards the goal, knocked down. Here's King with it. He's stumped along the wall by Sherratt. It comes back. Schultz fires one in on goal, and that is stopped and held by Hutchinson.
Until the Kings pick up right where they left off in the second period, getting pucks in the offensive zone, getting a forecheck on. This is how it all starts. Dustin Brown comes in, he's physical, wins a battle, and then now they have possession and the scramble's on. Even with good defensive play by the Jets, it's still extended possession time, point shots, traffic, and you don't get a set to attack and alleviate any of the momentum and pressure that the Kings are developing. You just have to get something going the other way.
Oh, bounced away from Doughty, streaking up there with a shot fired towards the goal. That was Kane. Looking forward here into the corner. Kane going towards the front of the net. Gaborik pushed it in. Kopitar in front, scores! Gaborik. Marian Gaborik ties it up.
taking advantage of a turnover by Michael Hutchinson. We've seen it a few times in this game where he hasn't been quite sure. He's got Enstrom there to give it to. He's got Bogosian to give it to. Shoots it past Bogosian to the King player waiting on the board. Puts it right in front. And all of a sudden, Gabourik's there to pot it into the empty net. And so you got Bogosian, who's been back in the lineup after missing an extended period of time. Enstrom as well. Two guys that, while they have played a long time, haven't played many games with Michael Hutchinson as their goalie. And there's been a few instances of a miscommunication where Hutchinson has not been on the same page as the defenseman. That one comes back to bite him with a goal.
This is Peluso along the boards. So the Jets, who had a 3-0 lead, give up 3 unanswered goals. And we're all square early in this final period. Gaborik from Kopitar at 129. Here's Green. Muzzin. Confidently up there to center and chops it down into the Winnipeg zone. Ladd moved it up. In over the line. Wheeler looks around. Needs a bit of help. Wheeler chops it around behind the goal. Little trying to catch up to it. Ladd, Little. Wheeler. And coming away with it there is Carter. King up hard. Tied up there with Buffalo. This is King. Sliding it down there. Carter looks around. King trying to get towards the front of the net. He does. This is Doughty with it. Whips one in. Well wide of King, who's maybe there to try to tip it. Kopitar looks around. He's got Doughty, but he gets it in front. King was right there. And he did tip it. And Hutchinson was able to make the stop.
When you play that much in your own end, you are eventually going to break down, and the Jets have had that happen again as Dwight King wide open in front. Andrew Ladd had fallen in the corner, and Hutchinson has to make a good save. And there's another look at the goal. Enstrom's there to pick it up. He's got the angle. Never quite get reset, trying to find the puck off his skate and then right onto Gabourik's stick. As Enstrom's trying to get back to the front of the net. The opportunistic Gaborik gets his 13th.
Gaborik with a goal and an assist in this game. Kopitar with a goal and an assist. Doughty with a couple of assists.
Their big boys are getting it done, but right now, Ladd, Little, and Wheeler have not been that effective 5-on-5. They got to find a way to get it going here in the third period.
Although Wheeler does have 2 points, he's got a goal and an assist.
Bank shot on the power play that went off Trevor Lewis, yes.
Scheifele looking for it up there. Green. Perreault working up there with Frolik. Perreault plays it back to the blue line. That's going to bounce down. Frolik after it. And all the way back to the line. And that didn't quite pan out. Fired back in by Ekstrom. He was stumped there by Clifford along the boards. And he's going to head back to the bench. Clifford chops it up along. Buffalo. Steered up to the corner. Kane and Halischuk both up there in quest. Not able to find it. Lewis dropped it back. Gaborik sniped one wide of the goal. Kane chops at it. Here's Lowry for the Jets. And Lowry tied up there with Williams. Gaborik trying to ferret that puck loose. He's got it. Worked it back, puck one time, right on goal by Williams. Buffalo. Lewis tried to take him out, and it didn't end well for
It's not
Lewis.
even worth trying to hit Dustin Buffalo right now. You're gonna come out with the short end of the stick every time.
It was almost comical. Like he came over, boom, and just dropped. One of those cartoonish moments. Buffalo was, what? Something hit me? Richards poking at that puck, gets it around. Buffalo had knocked down King and moved the puck up and ahead. streaking in over the line. Coburn comes up around the boards. Pushed ahead there by Carter. Tried to climb his way to the puck, but Stewart impeding his progress. Here's Harrison. Rings it in around the glass. Drops down. Little up there looking for it. And the puck fired and tipped up over the glass into the netting. And we get a stoppage. From Los Angeles, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
They are the next ones, the future of the NHL. Lawson Crouse takes 200 skill shots a day. Hashtag what to win.
During the last commercial break, Paul Maurice was amped up. He was getting into his team, getting into the glass. The security guard to come down and tell him not to the glass anymore, imploring them to skate, get up the ice, get involved physically, and then get off, as he realized his team has been on the defensive for the better part of a period and a half.
It was a highly promising start, wasn't it? Bogosian. And Clifford right on him. And an icing call on the Jets.
The Jets are going to have to buck a trend here if they want to try to get points out of LA. They are the second worst team in the NHL when it comes to scoring in the third period. Only the Arizona Coyotes are worst. So they need at least one more here to try to get the full 2 points in regulation, because this is a team they're competing with. Prefer to get this one done in regulation.
Well, Winnipeg did carry the lead into the third period, and when leading after 2, 14-1-4 are the Jets. That one fired wide. That was Wheeler who let it go, and he's poised here for another chance. Trying to catch up to the puck. Doughty got there first. And this is Brown up there with Kopitar. Scheifele back to break it up. Bogosian over to Byfuglien. He'll kick it into gear. Up to center. And Clifford got in his way. And now Byfuglien giving a bump there along the boards. And that's Martinez trying to have a go at him.
Dustin Byfuglien just hold him off there. Leave me alone. And Dustin Byfuglien's had another game tonight physically. Puck plays roll dead and then skates right through Martinez. That's a little extra shove there in the back of the head that got Martinez excited. Paul Maurice talking about skating, getting up the ice. That is what he's talking about. Andrew Ladd and in the forecheck. Drew Doughty, the best player for LA on defense. Get into him physically. Create a chance for your team.
Doughty, as usual, leading the Kings in ice time tonight through 2 periods. Byfuglien, by the way, 2 assists tonight, 3 shots and 5 hits.
About 12 pinball caroms off him.
Yeah. They don't have a stat for that yet. Clifford up there trying to coax it loose. Got it back. Martinez chopped the puck up around back of the goal. It's going to come up around here in the wing. And now back again to Sherratt. Byfuglien tucked it up ahead there. Scheifele in over the line. Dishes off to his right for Frolik. Trying to catch up. He couldn't quite get there. Oh, Martinez is stapled by Kane.
To stand on the ice.
And the puck cleared down. Martinez heads to the bench. Byfuglien lays it over after the misfire. And the puck cleared down, and an icing call on the Jets.
Evander Kane has been involved physically in his first game back, showing no ill effects, certainly in the hitting department, and he gets Martinez shoving that puck up and just staples him right through the center of the chest. Perfect hit, glides in there. keeps everything low, under control, and knocks his man down.
You felt that one, didn't you?
When he gets skating, he is so strong and so fast. He can really be a force when it comes to hitting.
That was his 5th hit of the night. So as you said, Mike, showing no ill effects at all. Back sooner than expected. That plays offside. And to go with to bookend those Kane hits, Byfuglien has been right in the middle of things.
He certainly has, right from the get-go, early on. And the top players, no matter how strong you might be, one after another, knocking them down and then taking the puck. He is just so strong. He's a heavy man, got to be 260 or so, and he can skate very well. So when he gets ahead of steam, you're going to lose most collisions, and the Kings have found that out. One of the more physical teams in the league, and Dustin Byfuglien's got no problem with that.
Very bright guy. His coach this morning after the morning skate was going on about Byfuglien's hockey IQ and just how well he reads the game and situations. Thorburn up there after it, dumps it around. Peluso. A bit of trouble there. Peluso after it again. Doughty battling there with Thorburn at the edge of the crease. Now Thorburn stepping up to claim that puck. Back to the line. Enstrom zipped it in on goal and stopped and held by Jonathan Quick. Hits, sorry, Mike, just hits tonight, just to your point. Winnipeg 30, LA 31.
Yeah, it's been an even match and very physical. This fourth line's been part of it. This is what you want out of your fourth line. Some energy, some positive time in the offensive zone, keeping it simple, puck along the boards, nothing risky, fight to the front of the net, get an offensive zone face-off so your top boys can get out there and play a little offense.
Sorry, Bud, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, it's all good.
Puck chopped along the boards. Lewis got it out. Little will clear it in. Martinez worked it up ahead. And then over the line, that kind of fell apart. Lewis had the puck. Stoll plays it back, and he'll jump up into the rush. Schultz plays it in. Stahl after it, looks towards the front, tried to center it. And that was sealed by Hutchinson. This is Little. Pushing it down to the corner. Green back there after it. And the puck saucered all the way up there. Martinez, or pardon me, Brown racing up after it. Gets it out. Jumping up there was Carter. Shot comes in and deftly picked up there by Hutchinson as it bounced down low and he snatched it with the glove.
So you mentioned the top line for Winnipeg and how well they have been playing, and Little's got one tonight, as does Wheeler. And look what they've done in the last 16 games. Point per game, at least for each one of them. But it's been heavy sledding out here. Brian Little, who missed yesterday's practice and this morning's skate, doesn't look quite right, whether he's dealing with an injury or maybe an illness. He just hasn't had the energy and zip in his legs that he usually does.
Just came off a 7-game point scoring streak.
Well, they're playing very well, putting up all kinds of points. And the team leans on them so much, it's just that tonight hasn't been quite as dominant as it has been recently.
Under some pressure is Sherratt. Puck comes out. Although you have to say it's a far cry better than, from a Jets perspective, their performance the other night against Arizona. One of their worst, maybe their worst performance of the year. Lowry coming up, dropped it back, and he continues to the corner to try to get it. Battles there with Martinez. Kane up into the mix as well. Lowry comes away, trying to badger that puck loose. He's working away at it, and then had his pocket picked deftly there by Muzzin, who works it up along the wall. Halschuk was after it. Puck comes out. Gaborik, wary. Didn't pick it up. Puck fired in by Enstrom. Quick out there to play it. And he had to be quick. And he get back into his net with a couple of Jets up there in the forecheck. Puck played all the way down. And Hutchinson is going to hang on with Justin Williams coming up there just in case. 8:33 to go in the third period on Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet. interesting, Chris, you look at the shots there the last couple of periods, dominated by the Kings. Puck comes back. Muzzin gets it through. Puck bouncing around. A swing and a miss by Kopitar. Was it going for the fence there? Brown up trying to pressure it loose. Rolls to Sherratt. Up ahead, on the move. Wheeler comes in. He was stood up there by Muzzin. Here's Doughty. Back to Muzzin. Those two have been paired and then unpaired a couple times tonight. Doughty and Muzzin, normally defensive partners.
They're back together right now, and Paul Maurice is livid that this is not a call on Blake Wheeler. Soft chip, and they have to be a little more wary of how late you can bump into someone, and most times you got to let that guy go. Muzzin shoves Wheeler, knocks him to the ice, and after a few of the calls that they saw in the first period go against them on some borderline infractions, the Jets are trying to get one going the right way.
Stewart after it. Number 5 there for the Jets. Puck sort of bounced up. This is Clifford with it. Back towards the blue line. Green snaps it up around behind the goal. Kings pressuring again here. Lewis dipping, diving. Little dizzy and dazzle in front. Score! Clifford gets the goal, and the Kings get the lead.
It was like it was only a matter of time before LA found a way to get one. Another one, because putting all kinds of pressure on the Jets. And it's going to be Kyle Clifford who ends up banging this one past Michael Hutchinson as it bangs off Mark Stewart's foot, but good play here as Lewis beats Stewart out of the corner, takes it to the net, and then eventually, there you see it. Hutchinson makes the save, and then the puck comes off the stick right there, and then off Stewart's foot and in behind Hutchinson. And the Kings come all the way back from being down 3-0 to lead 4-3.
So Clifford will get credit. Puck batted away there by Quick. Chuck over after it for the Jets. Kane up there as well, and Lowry. So 4 unanswered goals for the LA Kings, and the last one a fortuitous bounce for the Kings.
And it's really Trevor Lewis here getting inside position. Quick feet right there as Mark Stewart gets caught shoving in the back and not the hips, loses body position, and then it's a 2-on-1 for Jay Harrison to contend with. And if you're the Kings, you're saying, well, Trevor Lewis kicked one in as well, so I guess the breaks will have evened out on the goal department.
So the Jets, who can score, will surely press here. Down by 1, 7 minutes to go. They own a 3-0 lead early in the game. And they've seen that melt faster than an ice sculpture in the California sun. It's gone.
Now they got to flip the switch from trying to defend and trying to hold on and potentially try to get to overtime to, we got to attack again. And that's what Paul Maurice has been trying to urge them to do from the bench. Get skating, get playing, going up the ice instead of backwards.
So Clifford gets credit for what was his own goal. Lewis and Green with the assist at 12:25. Muzzin throws it across. Doughty up after it. Kopitar, Gaborik, Kopitar going for the net, and then pocket picked by Bufflin, who throws it up deep down into the King zone. Doughty back to pick it up. Winnipeg will hustle in a change. Room for Doughty to carry to center. Steers it up. Kopitar with Gaborik in front. Williams also up there. Kopitar flips it over, bounces down dead off the glass. Williams fires it around. Was behind Kopitar. Frolik up to the line, steered ahead, looking for it was Perreault, dashing in towards the goal, but it just rolled to Quick, who covered it up.
It's a little better, a little speed through the neutral zone for Winnipeg. They just have not had a lot off the rush at all, and they've had trouble getting anything done off the wall. Guys skating, you hear the bench calling 3-3, get it to the middle of the ice. And there you see a good point connect, but at least there's some speed back in the game.
Sorry, Mike, they were calling what?
They're trying 3. They're calling 3. Got to go. We got 3 guys. They come and call from the bench. It's a 3-on-2. Let everyone, the guy at the puck, know that he's got 2 others with him.
Kane dashing over after it, fired it towards the net. Puck's going to bounce out. Comes over here. Bogosian scores. Big chance, big goal. The Jets have tied it.
Great reaction on the ice and on the bench for the Winnipeg Jets. Starts with a win, 1 draw. Lowry does a good job against Jared Stoll, who's very good in that department. Leinster kicks it over here to Bogosian, and they try to get to the front of the net just enough to bother Jonathan Quick, and Bogosian wrists it by a distracted Jonathan Quick right here, skating through Stoll again. Allows Bogosian to get that puck, wrist it past Quick. And I tell you what, Paul, the Jets bench exploded. Very happy with that response.
Bogosian playing in his 2nd game back after missing a bunch, 14 games with a lower body injury. I bet that felt good for Zach Bogosian. Found the back of the net to tie it up. 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. We are rounding the clubhouse turn in this one, and it looks like it's going to be a great race down the stretch. Moving up. King. Fired that one, comes up around. Doughty. Richards battling away. Trying to shake off the pursuit there of Sherratt. Puck comes up. Oh, that was stopped. Great chance. Point blank for Carter. King shoots it. Grabbed and held by Hutchinson. What a stop by Hutchinson. He preserves the tie after Bogosian finds the back of the net to tie this one up. It's going to be a great finish.
Some unlikely goal scorers here in the 3rd period. Kyle Clifford with just his 2nd. Zach Bogosian with his 1st of the year to tie things up. And here we are after all that. Less than 5 to go, tied at 4. In what has been a very entertaining game. Maybe not so much for the coaches, but the fans sure have enjoyed it.
Those goals 139 apart. Bogosian's being assisted by Toby Enstrom. Puck comes back. Muzzin fires one, and it hit a stick on the way through, went up and hit the netting, and play is whistled down. Coming up right after the game, all the sports news. What's going on tonight? Here's a preview.
Baseball, yeah, we got a thriller between the Ravens and Patriots to tell you about.
Yeah, a lot on the line out west between the Flames and Canucks as well.
And a whole bunch more from the NHL on Sportsnet Central. We'll see you at 1 a.m. Eastern.
Bye.
All right, thank you very much. A busy night to cover off in the NHL. Puck comes over, fired up by Doughty. Pretty good NFL game today, too, at least one. So that Patriots game. Twisting and turning here, Williams. And the puck flipped out. Oh, Doughty. Almost got undressed there by Perreault. And Perreault looking for it here. Lost his footing. Bogosian, he thought about, pardon me, that was Buffalo. Thought about pinching up. Here's Muzzin. Muzzin again. Puck comes in front, and Bogosian had gotten back to mark his man right in front of the goal. Puck shot. 3:43 to go in regulation time. Clifford. Enstrom. Steers it up along the boards. Kane up there, going hard. Bumping Martinez, and they lock up along the boards. Look at Kane battling away. Little comes in to offer support. Switches off there with Wheeler. Kane heading to the bench. Bogosian fired a shot that was deflected towards the corner. Schultz there to get it. He sends it up around the boards. Jets trying to press here. Puck kicked up by Ladd. Goes after it, and Quick just got out there in time. Just a hair quicker. Here's Carter, battling his way out to center. Chips it in, and then he's angled off nicely by Enstrom. Enstrom moves it up ahead. Scheifele, he's got some room. He's going to come in. The Jets are on a change. So Scheifele up there on a lone mission. Now the reinforcements come over the hill.
Doughty's slow to get up after that hit from Scheifele.
Puck comes up now. And welcome to those of you watching the game in Vancouver. We've got quite a game going on here. Just over 2 minutes left. And the Jets and the Kings are tied at 4.
This game has been physical, chippy, a little nasty. And everyone paying the price. Drew Doughty in the corner with Mark Scheifele. It's the hit, but then it's the throwdown right there. Toss him down to the ice. He gets up slowly, but he takes a number. Who's the next white guy with the white jersey on that's got a puck? Matthew Bro. He gets run over. Back and forth they've gone all night.
So quite the opposite for those of you who are watching Calgary-Vancouver, that 1-0 game. These two teams trading 5 goals between them in the opening period. No scoring in the second. And we're up here. Oh, glorious chance for Lowry to put a dagger into the heart of the Kings. He goes to the net again. Another swipe at it. Jets really pressing here. Gaborik pushing it out. What a shift there for Adam Lowry. Couple of good chances. Jets really pressing. Here's Byfuglien. He could be a game breaker. He'll move the puck ahead. Pass fed up there. Wheeler. Knocked away. Doughty. He may play the whole last minute and 21 seconds. Gets the puck up ahead. Brown driving up to that corner. Eludes Bogosian. Looking in front. Looks around. He had Stoll parked in front of the goal. Stoll is out of the hash marks. They work it around. Brown couldn't win the battle. Just ran out of steam. And the puck moved out. Under a minute to go in regulation time. That's Little who'd lost his stick there. Puck cleared back into Jets territory. Kings change it up. Doughty does go off the ice, shockingly. Here comes Scheifele. He'll saucer it down into the corner and race up after it against Martinez. All hands on deck here for the Jets. They're going to press. Frolik gets it down low. Scheifele battling with Martinez. Puck up along the boards and cleared. And an icing call there on the Kings with 23.7 seconds to go.
Jets had the chance there, looking for it to go in front late in this game. Adam Lowry with the puck on his stick off a rebound. He's just got to release a little bit quicker, get it up above Jonathan Quick, who's so athletic, gets out there, and not only does he get down to take the net away, but he gets out towards the shooter to decrease the angle. Lowry just can release that up and under the bar. It gets in.
Bit of a stalemate in the faceoff. Lowry 36% tonight on faceoffs. Jared Stahl 73%.
Kings are a good faceoff team when you have veteran centermen, been around for a while, all strong, all above 50%. Stahl, Kopitar, Carter, Richards, all the way down the line.
10th on faceoffs in the league heading into this game. big one here. The Kings win it. And the puck comes to Doughty. Just a short rest for Doughty. Leads this Kings team in ice time every night, and he's right back out there. That's another icing call in Los Angeles. 8.3 seconds to go.
Well, Maurice looks down his bench. Who does he want to get out there? Someone who can win a face-off with just 8 seconds left, and he turns to the big guys, Ladd, Little, and Wheeler. See if they can't come up with some magic here with just 8.3 left. Little's a right-hander, so more likely to pull it to the center of the ice as opposed towards the boards.
He's 50% on draws tonight, Mike. And Enstrom back there was poised, but the puck didn't come to him. And he cleared down the ice, and that will do it for regulation time. We are all tied at 4, and get set. Overtime is next on Hockey Night in Canada from the Staples Center. Welcome back as we prepare for overtime here. Let's check out the Budweiser Red Light scoreboard. Sidney Crosby scores the winner in overtime in that Pittsburgh-Montreal game. That was a dandy. Calgary Flames shutting out the Vancouver Canucks by a score of 1-0 in a real defensive battle there.
Well, the New York Rangers keep rolling. Dan Boyle's return to San Jose.
And here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, what a strange one it's been. It started off, looked as though it was going to be last shot on goal wins, although I guess it will be, as it turns out. But they traded 5 goals in the early part of the first period. Jets jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Kings battled back. There was no scoring in the second period. Here we are in overtime. And the Jets up to press. Shirai fires it in, and he's going to race up there, trying to force a turnover. Puck comes back. Bufflin works it across, and the puck forced outside there. Scheifele. Quick out there to play it. Gets it to Doughty. Oh, Doughty turning it over. Cutting towards the front there was Wheeler. And just couldn't get unglued, but keeps the battle going. Wheeler plays it all the way across. Bogosian snaps it over. Enstrom. Wheeler shooting. That one got away from him. Gonna bounce down. Scheifele works it over. Puck fired in there. Quick with a good stop on that good low drive from Kane. Scheifele. All checks so far in this overtime. Enstrom got it across. Scheifele driving in. Spun around there. He got Turnstile trying to get past Schultz. Here comes Kopitar. Kopitar looking, waiting for the reinforcements to come in. They don't get there in time. This is Kane. Drops it off. Perreault. Kane. Stick. Falls apart.
That's right in the wheelhouse. Looking for a one-timer too. Nice little setup.
Here comes Brown. Up there with Williams. Pocket picked at the blue line. Back the other way. Flying in. Little throws it all the way back. Was looking for Bufflin there. He found him, but unfortunately for him, outside the blue line. Little at the line. Working there with Ladd. This is Ladd. Flicks it rink wide. Little couldn't get there. Green tipped it up there to Williams, and here he comes, legging it up to the blue line. Dropped it back. Brown fired that one. Skips well wide of the target. Brown up there, circling back towards the front of the net. He was down low, but they couldn't get it to him. Scheifele. Lots of room. Drops it off at the line. The play goes offside.
Well, Drew Doughty, always fun to watch. Not the most orthodox defender sometimes, but will do whatever it takes. So he gets stuck, spun around here. Look what he does. Trying to chase down Blake Wheeler. A little behind the back poke check. Why not? And it works to get the stick to the right side of Blake Wheeler so he doesn't take a penalty. And here's the play we're talking about. Vander Kane had taken a slap shot earlier. Probably tweaked his stick there because he can score from that distance on snappers, but his stick exploded instead.
Doughty, by the way, out there, and he's played 32 minutes and 12 seconds tonight, above his normal average of 29 plus minutes. What a horse. Not telling you anything you don't know if you have watched him play. Bogosian. Doughty moves it up. Richards steering it down. Icing call on Los Angeles.
What's amazing about Drew Doughty is that they're not easy minutes. He's involved physically. He kills penalties. He's matched up against the other team's top lines, but he plays with his body so hard that it's not like he's just coasting when he's out there. And yet 30 minutes a night, over and over, he's run out and never really seems to have any trouble dealing with it.
That is a great point by you. I mean, he plays a lot of minutes, and I guess when you play that many, they're going to be tough minutes, but he plays exceptionally tough minutes. He's always out there against the other team's best guys.
The other comparison would be Ryan Suter, who plays the most in the league. He doesn't hit as much. He's not involved as much in scrumming along the walls and in front of the net. He manages his body and his energy. Doughty doesn't do that. It's always heart full out.
It is Drew Doughty's 20th 30-plus minute game of the year. Season high 34 minutes, 21 seconds. He's got the puck now. Doughty over there to the top of the slot, and then it swept away from him. Martinez circles back, glances up the ice. Who does he find? It's Kopitar who plays it back. Kings on a change. Martinez gains the blue line, dishes off. He's up towards the corner. Going to the front of the net was Kopitar. Up there, back of the goal, Martinez snuffed out. Puck turned over. Kopitar, bullet, just missed. Not the guy you want to turn it over to. Puck move back up. This is Byfuglien. He was tied up there along the boards. Kopitar back, moves it around for Green. Schultz moved it up ahead. This is Schultz. Under a minute to go. Puck played up there in front of the Kings bench. Bit of a scruffy change. Here comes Bogosian. Works it up ahead. Ladd looks, shot it through. And that was stopped by Quick. Back the other way. Fans on their feet as Williams steams in over the blue line. Drops the shoulder, tried to drive in. And he was tied up there by Ladd. And it's going to be a penalty. Wow. You make that call then.
All that we've seen throughout this game.
Winnipeg penalty number 16.
And a little tug on the left hand. Absolutely, it's a hold, but we've seen a lot not be called throughout. Justin Williams, so smart though. Isolating the forward, not attacking Toby Enstrom, and drawing the penalty on Andrew Ladd. Best chance of the overtime probably goes to Anze Kopitar after Sherratt has a pass deflected by Gaborik, and he's right down Broadway, gets it off the shoulder of Hutchison. Look how aggressive Hutchison was, well outside his paint. And so with 30 seconds left, the Kings go to a 4-on-3 power play. So much on the faceoff right here. The Jets can get probably 15 seconds killed if Jim Slater can get this one for a clear, and if not, the Kings will have some time to set it up.
Carter stepped up there looking for it after Kopitar sort of won the draw.
Byfuglien's going on the forecheck.
Byfuglien was right up there trying to force something. Here comes Carter, flying in there, dropped it off, shoveled in by Gaborik. That was stopped. And the puck is cleared. 10 seconds to go. Maybe the Kings will get one more rush here. Gaborik, long pass, knocked down. Byfuglien drills it in on goal. Quick stops it, and we are going to a shootout. All right, so first up is going to be Wheeler.
0 for 5 on the year.
First shot. Wheeler comes in. care of him.
Elects to attack with speed, changes angles a little bit, trying to swing in off his offside, and just the cuff of the glove. Got to get that just a little bit higher.
Drew Doughty, first shootout attempt this year.
Why not? He hears about it on the way past the bench. And we've seen some guys be successful with this. Marian Hossa likes doing this. Slapper from the hash marks. Just doesn't quite pick the corner well enough, and right in the blocker of Hutchinson.
Here comes Perreault. He is 1 for 2 on shootouts this year. 1 for 7 in his career. He scored the first goal of the game. Matthew Perreault, second jet shot. Oh! Jonathan Quick.
You've got to be kidding me. Look at him bite on this first fake so well, buckles his knees, but gets back like Dominik Hasek with the glove over the head, not even looking at the puck. Perreault thinks he's got in the empty net, and Quick just denies him. What a fake. He's breaking ankles. Quick fights it off.
That was Hasekian, wasn't it? Well pointed out. Here comes Lewis. First attempt this year in a shootout? No. Has never scored in a shootout. That was his third career attempt.
Trying to go backhands, short side. Of course, Michael Hutchinson catches with his right hand, so it's a different look than what you're used to seeing, and that glove's right there for the catch, even if Lewis gets it up in the air.
Andrew Ladd, 0 for 4 this year, 13 for 33 in his career. Here comes Ladd. Can he do it? No, sir.
Just not a lot to shoot at with Jonathan Quick. Read the stick, read the eyes, and had that short side taken away. Nothing for Andrew Ladd to go for there.
This is Jeff Carter. 1 for 5 this year. Stopped.
That's an excellent save for Hutchinson. Carter already had a breakaway, rang one off the bar earlier in the game, but comes down, head down. He's got that wicked release, and Hutchinson very aggressive again. Strong save.
Here comes Brian Little. 0 for 3 this year. Got it!
As he put it where you have to put it on Jonathan Quick. He gets his glove right on top of his pad. Tries to be aggressive there, and you got to put it right up and under the bar, and Brian Little does just that. Good patience, and then flick it up, bar and under the crossbar to beat him.
Mike Richards to stay alive. First shootout attempt this year. 17 for 58 in his career, 29.3%. Richards. No, sir. The Jets win it in a shootout.
That's a strong reaction for a January win, but this one meant a lot to Winnipeg. Bouncing back after a tough game in Arizona against a very good team, and Michael Hutchinson gives up 4, but he manages to shut the door in the shootout and get the full 2 points for Winnipeg as they move ahead of the LA Kings in the standings.
Something you have to respect about the Jets, half of their points this year coming on the road. For those of you watching on Sportsnet, up next is Sportsnet Central, all the day's sports news. For those of you watching on CBC, Hockey Central postgame edition. So long from Los Angeles.